Here's a question. What happened to rock bands with female leads? I mean, there are plenty of bands out now with female leads getting commercial success, such as Little Big Town, Alabama Shakes, and Florence and the Machine. But I'm talking about rock bands. You know, rock and roll, heavy amplification, loud composition. You know what I'm talking about. Let's list the classic female-led bands of the 1900s, like Heart and and, and Heart and that's pretty much it. Seriously, Heart is the only real beloved classic band with a female lead. Other ones, while being known, aren't really as iconic as Heart is, and even then, Heart isn't usually mentioned in the same breath as the Beatles, Queen, Aerosmith, or Led Zeppelin. Why is the rock and roll genre so male dominated? Why aren't there any girl rockers in the top 40, especially now? What killed female rock? Well, to answer that, let's start with the most recent and work backwards. What was the most recent band with a female lead of any sort of relevance in this country? Great, I love Paramore. Okay, Paramore is a guitar rock band from Tennessee. They had several charting songs in the late 2000s, many with a heavy rock sound to them. My favorite song by them is Misery Business, a song about some teenager who just loves making other people miserable. It's like if the narrator of Want You Back just dropped the pretense and said, I love being horrible because it's fun. Paramore can't be the reason why this brand of rock is dead. They're really good. They have a heavy but tight sound that complements the vocals of lead Hayley Williams perfectly. They're a unique, original act with a sound that's never been done before. Oh yeah, I forgot about them. I believe you're all familiar with Evanescence, a rock band with a female singer, this one from the mid-2000s. I might lose some dignity by saying this, but Evanescence is one of my all-time favorite bands. They have great composition, insightful lyrics, and Amy Lee, who I feel is one of the best female voices of the past decade. Evanescence is one of those bands that people either hate or love, and like it or not, I'm in the latter category. And it doesn't take long to notice that Paramore is influenced by Evanescence. They have the same heavy guitar, same awesome vocalist. Paramore is very similar to Evanescence, who was the actual original. They're the ones who started it.
Bleeding hides my grief, decide to leave my eyes wide open. Hang myself around your neck, the stain spreads out and pain. When can I go again? Skin tight.
Really? Fine, okay. This one might take more of an introduction. Meet Skin Dive, an Irish rock band you've probably never heard of because nothing any of them have ever done has ever charted in anything, anywhere, ever. They were at their heyday in the early 2000s. The reason why I'm bringing them up is... listen! It is literally as if the people from Evanescence heard this and said, hey, they're awesome, let's sound like them. Skin Dive is pretty much Paramore and Evanescence, only with the vocals being provided by Danielle Harrison. Skin Dive had one album and 2 EPs until the breakup in 2003 and remained firmly in the hipster crowd. They're just one of those bands that is so much better than that mainstream crud. To be fair, Skin Dive is pretty good. I mean, Evanescence obviously thought so. I would also say that they are influential. But when all is said and done, I have respect for Skin Dive, because they were the original ones. Really? Nothing's gonna cut me off? Seriously? Okay then, Skin Dive.
When I grow up,
Are you kidding me? Oh right, okay. This is garbage. Ha ha ha. They're really good. The lead singer is named Shirley Manson. They were big in the late 1990s and blah blah blah. You know what they sound like if you've heard any of the 3 previously mentioned bands. To be fair, the line connecting Garbage and Skin Dive is noticeably thinner than the other 2, but it's still there, so it counts. But in Garbage's defense, they have done one thing that sets them apart from the other three. They've done a James Bond theme. Yep, they did the theme for The World Is Not Enough, the 1999 Bond film of the same name.
I know what to show and what to.
The theme is a solid song, but forgotten because the movie itself is horrid. Their biggest gig may have faded into obscurity, but the band itself hasn't. And they're infamous for having the absolute worst band name ever. You know, maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe the differences aren't that obvious, and I'm just making something out of nothing.
Now I will tell you what I've done for you. Whatever makes it right. Grow up, I'll be stable. Clean up my mind, my soul. Scream at me, I'm so far away. Cut my tongue out, I've been caught out. I am taken, eyes wide open. I watched his wildest dreams come true, and not one of them involving you. Decide to leave my eyes wide open. On my fingers, chaos rules when we're apart.
No, wait, I'm not. You know what this is? This is just one band going through different phases. We have a rock band from the mid-90s named, let's break out the bit random band name generator. It's a random tool that starts with J. Okay, the band is named Jumper Cables. They had their sexy phase in the late 90s, their electronic psychedelic phase in the early 2000s, their gothic piano-y phase in the mid-2000s, and their teenager-y guitar phase in the late 2000s. I know it's very common for bands to sound similar, but it bothers me so much here because they are really alike, and all four of these bands have female leads. You know what? I'm just making it an official genre. Rock bands with female lead singers. Rock bands with female lead singers, or ROVLs for short, is characterized by heavy, tight guitars and an awesome female lead. If you hear a band that sounds like this with a male lead, he is secretly a woman. You know, I'm not sure Garbage was aware of the legacy they set at the time. The question that was asked was, what killed female rock? And now I know what killed it. We did. Everybody just got sick of it. Paramore was basically the fourth Garbage we've had in like 12 years. People caught on and stopped falling for it. Worse than that, we've stopped trusting female bands. This also explains why Alabama Shakes, despite not sounding like the other four, being nominated for a Grammy and having lots of hype, can't get anything into the top 40. It's a sad trend that probably isn't going to end soon, because at the end of the day, it's all just garbage.